Do not love half lovers. Do not entertain half friends. Do not indulge in works of half talented. Do not live half a life and do not die half death. If you choose silence, then be silent. When you speak, do so until you are finished. Do not silence yourself to say something, and do not speak to be silent. If you accept, then express it bluntly. Do not mask it. If you refuse, then be clear about it. For an ambiguous refusal is but a weak acceptance. Do not accept half a solution. Do not believe half truths. Do not dream half a dream. Do not fantasize about half hopes. Half a drink will not quench your thirst. Half a meal will not satiate your hunger. Half the way will get you nowhere. Half an idea will bear you no results. Your other half is not the one you love. It is you in another time, yet in the same space. It is you when you are not. This poem by Khalil Gibral, it hits me different. And I'll tell you why. Not that you are supposed to be interested to know, but I'll be glad if you choose to do so. Give me a few minutes. According to the World Health Organization, social isolation and loneliness are widespread. Around 16% of people worldwide, one in every six individual experiences loneliness. This isn't just a feeling, it's a public health issue. The United Nations has highlighted in its decade of healthy aging, running from 2021 to 2030. The health impact is sobering. Lacking social connection carries a mortality risk comparable to smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day. It raises the chance of heart diseases, stroke, depression, dementia, blah blah, and early death. These aren't just numbers, they are a mirror to how disconnected many of us have actually become in our daily lives. Let's clarify what we are actually talking about. The concepts of loneliness, social isolation, and solitude, because they are deeply interconnected yet very distinct. So, beginning with social isolation, which is actually objective, it's about having few relationships, little contacts with others, living alone, or rarely interacting. You can measure it in numbers, how many peoples you see in a week. Coming to loneliness, which is a subjective phenomena. It's the painful feeling that your social needs aren't being met. You can feel lonely in a room full of people or while scrolling through social media. It's that gap between the connection you crave and what you actually have. Solitude, on the other hand, is chosen. It's the peaceful, intentional time alone that allows you to reflect, recharge, and truly know yourself. This is where you discover what you want from life, what your purpose feels like. Solitude isn't the enemy of connection, it's the foundation for it. They are interconnected. Chronic loneliness can make solitude feel empty. Forced isolation without any chosen solitude breeds despair. But when you nurture healthy solitude, you bring a fuller, more authentic self into your relationships, and that's when the real connection becomes possible. Psychologist John Cacioppo showed that loneliness isn't just emotional, it's wired into our survival. Our brains treat social pain like physical pain. Loneliness triggers hypervigilance, stress hormones, and inflammation, as if the body is preparing to face danger alone. It's an evolutionary signal urging us to go back to the group. Vivek Murthy, former US Surgeon General, called it an epidemic in his landmark report. He described how half of adults feel lonely and how this disconnection harms everything from our hearts to our communities. Philosophically, the existentialists saw loneliness as part of being human. Kierkegaard, Sartre, and Camus explored how we are ultimately alone in creating meaning in an absurd world. Sartre's line that hell is other people captures the tension. We need others, yet fear being truly seen. Schopenhauer took a different view. He believed solitude is the path to true freedom and self knowledge, away from society's noise, we meet ourselves most honestly. Philip Koch, in his book on solitude, called it one of humanity's primary models of experience, essential for creativity, reflection, and reconciling with who we actually are. He saw solitude and connection not as opposites, but as two halves that complete a full life. In literature, the ache comes alive. Olivia Lang's The Lonely City blends memoir and art history, showing how isolation can fuel creativity yet leave us hollow. Daniel Defoe's Robinson's Crusoe turns isolation into both curse and revelation. Haruki Murakami's quiet, introspective characters often navigate urban loneliness with a haunting beauty, and Kiran Desai's, in her recent novel, The Loneliness of Sonia and Sunny, explores cultural rift, migration, and the loneliness that lingers between nations, races, and even within families. How loneliness can shift into a sought after solitude once we make peace with it. And these voices remind us the feeling is ancient, but its current scale is modern. So, how do we actually navigate? Have we failed? In many ways, yes. We have been conditioned to stay in our tight circles, to ignore the new neighbor or the colleague who just relocated. We hesitate to pull up an extra chair because, obviously, life feels too busy, too risky, and too awkward. Despite all our technological advancements and artificial intelligence, loneliness is booming. Social media gives us hundreds of friends, but rarely a real presence. Algorithms keep us in echo chambers. Remote work and urban life shrink casual interactions. We have more ways to connect than ever, yet many of us feel more alone. The promise was that technology would actually free up time for us so that we can spend time with our loved ones and in self exploration. Instead, constant notification, comparison culture, and digital distraction have left us fragmented, living half lives exactly what the poem warned against. We chase external validation while our inner selves stay disconnected. Solitude, which should actually nourish us, often gets swallowed by screens. And without that inner connection, even our closest relationships can feel empty. However, the good news is that it isn't inevitable. The way forward starts within and then moves outward. Firstly, it's important for us to reclaim our solitude. Block time without screens, walk, journal, sit with our thoughts. This is where you meet your true other half, where purpose and self knowledge grows. Reach out wholeheartedly, invite that new neighbor for coffee, open genuine conversations, build small communities, book clubs, walking groups, game nights, repeated low pressure interactions beats big events. Treat connections as a skill. Drop the mask. Be real. Vulnerability builds the bridge. Finally, use technology as a tool to arrange real meetups, not replace them. Set boundaries so solitude stays sacred and time with others stays present. So, coming a full circle to the poem back again. I began with that poem for a reason. Your other half is not the one you love, it is you. In another time, yet in the same space. It is you when you are not. The poem wasn't just a beautiful opening, it was the key. Loneliness often grows not because we lack people, but because we have lost touch with our own selves, living half lives, masking our truths, dreaming half dreams. When we reconnect with ourselves through solitude and honest living, we stop needing others to complete us. Instead, we bring our whole selves to every relationships. That's when real belonging happens. Building better connections with the world begins with the connection we build with ourselves. That's the quiet revolution this moment calls for. Thank you for listening. Take one small step today, either towards deeper solitude or towards one genuine outreach. And remember, your other half is waiting.